Hey, what's going on YouTube? Have a new video today going over a massive mail day on a huge card that I won at an auction. I think I stole at an auction. I was honestly shocked that I even won this. So yeah, I wanted to highlight this, big card that, I'm debating whether I want to get it graded, hold in the PC, or flip it depending on how this player and team does in the coming weeks to months. And then also just talk about the overall experience. This is the first time that I've bid this large of an amount, and just some tips, tricks, suggestions, things to look out for when buying these higher end cards, and also learn from my mistakes, and then hopefully some out there can, if you're a new seller, learn, improve upon your selling and shipping practices, just to make for a better overall experience, not for only for yourself and for buyers. So without further ado, we'll jump right into it. So I spent over $2,000 on this card. I was honestly shocked that I even won this bid. I thought it would go for probably $3,000 to $4,000 given what this is, but ended up winning. And 2 days go by, there's no update, no info on the shipping. So I reach out to the seller and I say, hey, what's going on? They're like, oh yeah, I'll ship it today. And no movement. A label's created and nothing. So I'm like, oh man, what's going on here? So after the fact, I went back and started researching this seller's feedback, and they had positive feedback. It looked like they had sold a couple big cards early on. They were new members of eBay, maybe 50 plus feedback, and within there they had 2 sales over $1,000. So I'm like, okay, this looks legitimate, had no real cause for concern. But then after I got a message back saying, hey, I'm like, what's going on with the shipping? It says label created, there's no movement. Has this been sent? They responded, said they apologized, like, they thought they had shipped it, but the card was still in their office. I'm like, all right, hopefully this person is sending the card that I'm bidding on and not just a dummy card or, pack of bubble gum that I've had happen before. And so I'm like, all right. And the other concern of mine was that this didn't have an authenticity guarantee, a stamp from eBay, which I was kind of surprised given that this was an over $2,000 card. So I'm not sure how they were able to finagle the auction to get around that. So I'm like, all right, just got to trust the system, trust the process. So the guy apologized again, or the person, I'm sorry, they apologized, like they got it shipped out. And this is what they shipped a $2,000 card in. Just a standard 6x9 bubble mailer. And look at it. This thing got beaten up through USPS. And they used Scotch tape to affix the shipping label to this. Like, it used to use some packing tape, secure it. So I did reach out to the seller afterwards or recently and explain just like, hey, like, this is how this on a $2,000 card, I would expected better shipping and secured shipping. And let me know what you guys think. Should sellers take more pride in shipping high-end cards, or is this sufficient? Now, let's get into the card. And this thing is huge. It's a redemption. Well, it's not a redemption. It's Panini Black Box 1 of 1 flawless Joe Burrow on card rookie autograph. Now, as you can see here, there's the stamp, the 1 of 1 from the 2023 National, and then there's the 1 of 1 Black Box 2023. So I'm assuming that this was a redemption replacement or a failed redemption, and that then Panini repacks it into the black boxes that people can turn in other redemptions that are expiring and get this as a replacement. But lo and behold, this was ending at an odd end time for this auction, and I put a max bid in, and I was just shocked that it ended for like 2,100 or something close to that. So yeah, pretty stoked about it overall. I mean, it looks pretty good. Now, this is exactly how it came. It was just loose in a bubble mailer, no padding, in, like, well, you just had the bubble padding, but no cardboard between, one team bag, nothing. Now, luckily, as you can see, the damage here, just like how beat up that is. The case in itself looks pretty decent, just the typical micro marring scratches on the case itself, which is no problem because I'm probably going to have this thing graded and, you know, it'll be out of here. But if I don't, you know, it is what it is. But the only thing I can't tell is you can kind of see down in that corner, just a little flare up right on that corner. None of the others have it. So I might, you know, go BGS versus PSA if that's enough to keep it from jimming. Maybe go for the subgrades in the 9.5. But outside of that, the card looks really clean. Surface, that's a nice autograph. That's a good looking B. I've seen a lot of his autos. The B's pretty wonky. But yeah, overall, you know, happy that it is the right card. Happy that it did arrive undamaged. But annoyed that this is the method they did. Now, this is not how I would ship it. I would have shipped it in a small shipping box, bubble wrap around it, you know, taking a little bit more pride and care in it. But that's just me. And I mean, I've sold some big cards as well, but what a gamble. What a gamble this guy did. So I messaged him, you know, he said in retrospect, he sees my point of view and that, you know, he'll try to do better. And he appreciated the insight and the feedback. I wasn't rude or mean about it or anything. It's just that I'm like, yo, like, you got to be careful. Like, on the other end, people could be trying to scam him and saying, hey, this card arrived damaged, and returning it. They could swap the card out and say, hey, this wasn't the right card. Like, I mean, you could have that any happen, but I don't know. Just take better pride in shipping and respecting the hobby. But yeah, I just wanted to share my 2 cents, and hopefully some others will, you know, may see this and, you know, take it away and, you know, maybe ship a little bit more securely, or at least use some packing tape and not just Scotch tape it to the 6x9. Sandwich it in between some cardboard, you know, just kind of have that added protection, security or whatnot. But in eBay, I don't know how this did not have to go through their authenticity program. I'm surprised, you know, an auction ending over 2,000 that it didn't get flagged. So just look at people's feedbacks when you're going in before you bid. You know, that's where I failed to do it. I just saw this auction bid, you know, towards the last 30 minutes, really wasn't looking. I was scrolling and was like, oh man, like that looks like a deal. But yeah, look at people's feedbacks, look at what other people are saying, see what they've shipped out. And especially when you're paying $13 for shipping, that's not $13 to ship it from this distance. That's probably, I think, $7.50, $8 maybe, with the eBay discount. So I'm not sure if they're jacking up their shipping rates, but it was nowhere near the ounces that they had put in and for its destination. So yeah, so I just want to make a quick video. This is a huge card. I think the Bengals can do well, make the playoffs. Burrow can light it up like he's done in the past. It'll be a good outcome. Definitely a cool card nonetheless. So hope y'all enjoy. Let me know what your thoughts are. Like, subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next video.